Welcome to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe now. Let's dive in. So what is tsunami healing? What exactly is it? Where did it come from? How did the name come up? Let's talk about all of that. I think a lot of people have come and they're new to the channel, have never heard of it, had no idea that I started it years ago, and I'm just excited for you to be here, so thank you for tuning in. So what is tsunami healing? Let's start off with the name. How did I get that name, Tsunami Healing? Honestly, it was just a gift from God. I really can't make that up, and I'm so grateful to have it be a part of my life. But long story short, back in 2016, 2017, I went through a lot of different personal development events, and at all these different events, they kept asking me that question, what do you bring to the world? What is your calling? What do you feel like your purpose is? What do you bring to this event? And the word that kept coming up is healing. I bring healing to the world. I need healing. Just healing, healing, healing. That word just kept coming up over and over again. So that I just felt like that was always something that I was called to. And I was going through a lot of different things at that time, and I was working through a lot of different things. So yeah, I did need a lot of healing in my life. I went to another personal development event called Enlightened Warrior Camp. Probably one of my favorite events that I've ever been to. But at this event, it's very powerful, and you go through a lot of transformation going to this event. And when you're there, you get a warrior name, or kind of like a nickname, or just a name, something that resonates with you. So you go through this guided meditation, and out comes your warrior name. So for me, coming out on the other side of that, the word that I resonated with and came to mind was tsunami. So think about what is a tsunami. So a tsunami is a natural force, right, made by nature. It's something that causes a lot of destruction, right? Well, a big, huge tidal wave is what a tsunami is. And they have a lot of them overseas in Japan, and causes a lot of destruction, causes a lot of famine to a lot of different families, just complete, utter destroys everything. So I took those two words and I put them together and created Tsunami Healing. And if you think about that, think about a huge tidal wave of healing coming towards you. Think about, different strategies, different techniques, ways to take care of yourself. And then I also kind of couple that with nerd culture, right? Like all the things that I love: comic books, video games, movies, acting, voiceover, improv. And you take all of that and you put it together in a podcast, and there you go. So it started out as just a podcast back in 2018, and it's something that I built up over the years, and it built a very small online community. I was able to start getting into different kinds of events as press and as media, and it was just a lot of fun. And then that rolled into, I started getting different kinds of guests from all different walks of life, voiceover, again, improv, directors, producers, writers, dancers. So then the show kind of evolved to whatever creative thing that person does, writing, dancing, acting, whatever. And then how is that healing, therapeutic, cathartic, fun for them and the people around them. And then it just kept snowballing, evolving, growing. I am really big in the haunt community because I was a scare actor. So I had the opportunity of being the second stage manager at Midsummer Scream for a couple of years, and I just got really into that scene and got to know a lot of great people. And the Halloween industry is a lot like the voiceover industry, and a lot like the improv industry, where it's a really niche, small group of people who are very passionate about all the things that we do. And I just took all those things, and I'm interested in all those things, and put it into the podcast. Then I noticed that if I started sharing things that were personal to me about my life, my ratings started to spike, and I realized that people were interested in some of the experiences that I'd had. So then I threw it onto the Patreon platform, and I started to monetize it. And it became successful, not in the fact that I was making millions and millions of dollars, but it did supply my hosting funds that needed to be able to keep the podcast going. And I did that for a couple years. And then it just got to the point where I was just kind of burnt out. I was tired of it, and I felt like I had done everything that I needed to do with it. But I still wanted to do it in some sort of capacity. So then about a year ago, I started a YouTube channel. And that was just a lot of vlogs, just a lot of going to showing you the inside of different events that I was at, different comic conventions. Then I started to, and I will be starting to branch out into different events, MMA events, music festivals, and whatever other cool things that I think might be fun to show. Yeah, so then it became Tsunami Healing Productions. And then I really love Patreon. Patreon is a great platform, and I highly suggest it for any creator. But I just recently moved over to Buymeacoffee platform. And the biggest reason that I did that is one, you can do one-time donations, and two, you can still provide audio posts. So that's a whole nother video. Make sure you check that out at the end of this one. Went from Tsunami Healing, just a podcast, just an idea. Now it's Tsunami Healing Productions. And what does that mean? So it is a whole plethora of things. You get podcasts, you get a YouTube channel. It's sort of a blog, because I did have a blog post just at one time on Patreon. So that's going to roll over. It's also a video log or a vlog where I take you to different events and I do things like this, and I show you just my experiences and things that I think might be helpful to you. And then it's sharing all the different strategies and techniques that I've learned just how to take care of myself. Fitness, meal prepping, different kinds of therapies like drum therapy, actual going to therapy. I share my experience of doing things like EDMR. Supplements that I'm taking, whatever it may be. And really that's just to show, hey, maybe some of this might work for you, maybe it won't. I'm just exposing you to a lot of different things, and then you can take whatever resonates with you. And then it's also all the fun stuff, reviews of video games, reviews of movies, reviews of comic books, and whatever other cool thing or experience that I've done, and then bringing some of those people in the communities that are a part of those projects, bringing them to you and giving you some of their insight. So to really sum it all up, Tsunami Healing started as my creative outlet, and it still is. I'm very grateful for it. It keeps me sane, it keeps me happy. I get to talk about all the things I've ever wanted to talk about and get to do a lot of creative things, but it has evolved, and it is evolving into your safe space. It's three things for you. It's entertaining, it's inspirational and uplifting for you guys. There's a combination of both, and it's really a call to action for you to follow whatever you feel called to do. So when I say keep healing the world one wave at a time, I really mean take that next step into whatever your calling is. Go write that book, go do that audition, go take that class, go fill out that job application. Do whatever it is. Go make that phone call to your parents or your children or whoever you need to talk to that you know you kind of been avoiding that conversation. It's just a call to action for you, because you know whatever that thing is that you need to do or you feel called to do. Take that next step to go get that done. So that's really what it is. It's my creative outlet, and it's your safe space. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and I hope that you have a little bit better understanding of what Tsunami Healing is, the community that is evolving and that is growing, and I hope that you find something in there that is healing and helpful for you. And most importantly, remember to enjoy yourself. Tsunami Healing is a place that is fun. When we talk about fun things, and it's engaging, and we talk about things that we like and what we don't like. And also just remember to get started. Start with whatever equipment you have. If this is something that you want to do, start with what you got. Start on your phone, start on your laptop. You don't have to have the most fancy high-tech equipment. You can just start with anything. If you go back and watch some of my earlier videos, you can see that they're pretty terrible, but that's okay. I just started with whatever I had at the time. So you'll get better, you'll grow, and you'll start to create your own community. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Like I always say, keep healing the world one wave at a time. Thanks for tuning in.